3D Solutions would like to introduce you to our new 3DI PowerApp interface. It's a new, more efficient way we've designed to interact with your CAD software. This is designed to maximize your productivity with a single interface to accomplish all your most common tasks. So I'll go through and give you a little brief demo of this, and I can give you a more in-depth one if you're interested in learning more about the product. What we have is we have access to all our Power applications here, so we can fire them up just with a single touch. Much quicker than going through the launch toolbar as far as how quickly they pop up for you. We also have a redesigned new catalog interface. This allows us to go through and insert any of our standard components from our library, but we can also filter them. So we can come in and look for just DADCO components, for example, and then it will show only the DADCO components that we have. So if we just want to see the nitrogen cylinders, we can pick over here and see all the different cylinders we have available from them. What this interface also does is this allows us to insert these blocks into our assembly in a real efficient manner. You no longer have to go through and insert a block, do a save all, save as, path it to the directory you want, and rename it. That actually all happens automatically with this. So, for example, if we wanted to bring in a new LJ series cylinder, we can select the assembly that we want to add it into as product 1, and we can come over here and say we just want to bring in one new LJ cylinder. That'll bring that in, and as quick as you saw that, it brings it in, but it also saved it off into the same directory that this product is saved into. So whatever product you're inserting into it will save into that directory. So no bother going through renaming, doing any of that stuff. It takes the part name from the field down here, and those are set up as defaults in the catalog, as you can see over here under the component name. These can all be customized if you'd prefer to see something different. We can go through the catalog editor, import the catalog, and actually adjust any of the filters that we have for the vendor, the type name, and also the component name if you want a different standard name for them. So real easy to manage and to do that on your own here. You can also add new components there, add the preview images, and all the same things that you see in the existing catalog. Another thing that's very nice with this, we can add new instances of a block very quickly. So we can say I want to add instances of this LJ cylinder, and we want to put 8 of them in there. So you can see it puts the 8 instances in, names the instance name as well, so it keeps it in series there for you. We have the option to insert new items from a file. This will allow you to gather information from an old job and bring it in, and it actually isolates it as it brings it in, so you don't retain the links to the previous job. And then we have the ability to clone items here also. So if we bring in a standard block, for example, and we want to take and make some modifications to that to say make it like a wipe ring steel, we'll go and bring 2 standard blocks in here, insert them in new. So you can see it brings in standard block and standard block 1, and those are unique instances. We'll snap our compass to them, and we'll move one of the blocks off to the side. So say if we went in and we wanted to put a large chamfer on this steel, because it's going to go into a pocket, for example, and maybe we want to turn our screws and dowels on here, we can go into the one-touch tool, and we'll turn our fasteners on this one. And then maybe we changed a couple other things on here. We put some form shape on it or something to that effect. And now we want to make additional blocks just like that one, but we want them to still be unique so they can be modified individually, or surface shape can be split individually. So to do that, we can just come in and say we want to clone an existing item of this one. We want to make 2 additional clones of it. Say if you're going to have 3 steels in there. So you can see it renames them as independent blocks. We'll minimize our control here. We'll slide these out a place so we can kind of see some differences as we do it. And then say, for example, if we came back into our original and we edited the chamfer on that to be a larger chamfer, you can see it only does it on the original, and the other 2 blocks are left as they were because they're now unique instances. But again, as it's doing all this, it's saving these directly into the folder for you. There's no going and renaming, resaving, or doing save alls or anything like that. It happens as you bring the products in from the catalog. In addition to this, we can go in and add prefixes to the beginning of the name. So if you want to include your job number, for example, and an op number, you can put that in there in addition to the block name. You can also change the block name here if you want something different than what your standard insertion is. So instead of standard block, maybe you put in there that it's a trim steel, for example. We can adjust the quantity to whatever we need and say insert new. It's going to take and drop in a new standard block with that name and that number on it. That's now our trim steel. And you can see again, all saved into the same directory, much quicker than what it would be otherwise with the standard catalog. In addition to that, we added some additional features in here to switch between English and metric units without having to go through all the steps of your tool's options to do that. And also quick access to taking screenshot images, accessing your email, Microsoft Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, and also your web browser. Whether you have Google Chrome or a regular web browser, it will launch that out of here. What this allows you to do is keep from jumping back and forth in between softwares. You can be much more efficient as you're working in your design and you need to take a quick shot of something, email that to somebody to get their opinion on something. You can do all that right here without ever leaving your CAD screen, without ever leaving your interface, in a much quicker manner. So that's a brief introduction to it. I can show you a little more in depth if you're interested in this. You can contact me.